Hi everyone. Right, there's going to be no introductions today. I've had a bit of a tough week and I look and feel like shit, so I thought I didn't want to burden that upon everybody watching. So yeah, what we're going to do is going to get straight into things today. So this is my Harpactira species black. This is a suspected female and she needs a rehouse, so this is what we're putting her in. And you can see there's a big size difference between what she's coming out of and what she's going into. This is just a relatively basic setup. It's just some Spider Life substrate with a little cork back and a water dish in there, and that's about it really, because she's just going to dig and burrow and excavate it anywhere like. So as you see, this just trying to get her out now. And this one has done a run on me before in rehousing, so I was trying to be as careful as I could. And there you can see she's just tucked in that webbing. And like I say, she has done a runner before, so I thought it'd be a good idea if I were just to bring my little bit of plastic in, my little cover, so I could see what I was doing. And as it is, I'm pretty glad that I did that, because you'll see she does come out of this webbing, but she actually makes a bit of a dart for it and ends up at the top of the enclosure. So yeah, don't know if you can just see her on the left there. You get a better view in this next shot. So there she is. And if I'm honest, there was no getting her down. She seemed to have settled up the top. You see, she went round, she drops down and up she goes again. Have a little view of that, you see, pretty sharpish. And she's back up. So yeah, once she's settled on the far side, I went in again with my little stick and just, all I wanted to do was nudge it down enough so I could get the lid on, but the lid sits in the little rim at the top of this enclosure, and as you'll see here, this went on for quite a while. I'd just gone round and round and round. Now, I think you can see here, this is where disaster sort of struck, if I'm honest. From what I can gather, I didn't realise at the time, it was only when I was reviewing the footage. I think what's happened is the foot was trapped, and as I've prodded it with that stick just before she's done a run, she's actually ended up dropping her leg. It's the front leg on the left hand side. Now she was alright in the rehousing and she's been alright since, but yeah, it was an accident that I would have rather avoided, if I'm honest. But I thought this was quite cool. You can see the pneumatics of how a spider leg works, and you can see it just twitching away there. I mean, as we know, she will regenerate this over the course of time as she molts and remolts. So hopefully, 2 or 3 molts time, that'll be fully regenerated and no one will know that it was ever missing, like. But yeah, at this point she was down just enough. You can see I was carefully just getting this lid on. But even so, as I twist this pot round, you'll see that she's right on the edge, and as I'm tightening the top, I'm having to be really careful that I don't end up like crushing her or catching another leg, like. So yeah, there we have her, the Harpactira species black, -1 less leg than we started with, which did piss me off a little bit due to my own error, but yeah, like I say, she is doing fine. And now we're going to move on to the next one, which is a Cyriopagopus hati. We've actually got 2 of these, and this is the smaller of the 2. Now both of them are unsexed, but I've probably had them about 18 months, maybe a little bit longer now, since they were tiny little slings. So you'll see in a second, this one will just come into view inside the pot. It's not a massive size, I suppose it's a small juvie now rather than a grown-on sling. And just with some gentle steering, we did manage to get it to come up the side into the pot, and yeah, everything's good. Yeah, we spin this round, and she actually, I'll say she, could be a he, ended up in a really good position to get a good little shot of her, actually. So we'll get a little bit of a close-up here. She's sat there in almost a porky stance, almost. But yeah, nice and well behaved, so we look at getting her into a new enclosure, which is one of these little screw lid deli pot things that I quite often use for small arboreals. And you'll see she went in absolutely no hassle, no problems whatsoever, and we'll just let her settle in. I did try and get a better view, but you'll see every time I moved it, she disappeared. So what I thought was we'd just move on to the next one, which is again another Cyriopagopus hati, and hopefully we'll get a good view of this one. Again, some gentle manoeuvre just to get it up and into this other cup. Again, this one's unsexed, but if anybody fancies having a go at a ventral sexing, there's a good shot for you. Just drop it in the comments, you know, let me know what you think it might be. And again, this is pretty much the same setup as the last one, and if I'm honest, this one was as cooperative as the last one as well. It went in really easy, as you'll see here. Now this one is a little bit bigger than the other one. I don't know if maybe it's a molt ahead, or it may just be that this one's a male and that one's a female, and that'll explain the size difference, but I suppose time will tell. Like, so there you can see he is nicely settled, and we'll leave that one to it as well, and we'll move on to this last one, which is Phormingochilus species rufus. Again, this one is unsexed. It's recently molted, so at first I thought I might be able to get it to come up, and same way that the other two did really, and just get it to come and climb up the side, but this one didn't want to do that and didn't really want to play ball, so as you'll see, eventually I end up just taking the cork back out. you can see the spider down the bottom there, and we get a good little look at it. And there's that molt that I mentioned. So yeah, I think it's about 2, maybe 3 weeks ago since it molted. I think it's fed. I have fed it since. Like I say, I noticed that it had molted and that it was going to need the rehouse. As I was last trying to feed it, and I just left the cricket in, and it seems to have disappeared, so I'm going to assume that it fed. If not, it'll get fed in the next day or so anyway, once it's settled into this new pad. And again, pretty trouble-free getting it into the pot. And very similar in regards to getting it down and into its new home as well. You'll see this one also behaved. We do like smooth and stress-free rehousings here at Spiders. And there we have it. So that's the Phormingochilus rufus all settled. So yeah, hopefully next week I'll be feeling a bit better, and I'll be able to do a proper introduction and a proper outro. But for this week, I'd like to say just thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed everything you've seen, and I'll see you next time. Cheers. Ta-ra.